Now I've had some fun with this one, I can tell you. So this is the very first panel that I designed, okay? And so it is the correct width. It's 7.8 by 3.1 high. And if I select it and go into the edit family, I'll show you the family here now. Right, now exterior side, interior side, remember that. And here is, if I go into a 3D here, might be explain this a little bit better. So again, exterior side here. So that is just basically an extrusion, so from the bottom up, all right. That is a sweep that I created for the window frame. That's an extrusion for the center mullion of the window frame. You can see the little setback here, okay, and that's on the sketch, right? So I created that with a void, right, a void extrusion, and that gave me that little panel in there. And then obviously I've got the big void extrusion to create the window ope as such. Now that's how that panel is made up. And I've made it precise in terms of the dimensions. Okay, let me just show you the reference plan here on this again. Now, so that's it there. Now notice that it's 7.7. All right, and take note of that there. 260 wide. It's on the center, as we said. There's the two main. They're the two locked reference planes. That's the insertion point, is the intersection of those two there. Remember that as well. I have three associate family parameters. Okay, here they are here. So I have the concrete panel B frame material, glass material, and the concrete material itself. So they're brought forward, and I'll put those in when I load it into the project, as I've done here. Okay. Now, so that's that there, and what I can do is, again, I can tab, select one, go into the edit type properties, and I can put in the frame material here. The frame material is going to be an aluminium, okay, and I've made it that kind of dark brown color there. The glasses are standard AT glass here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, glass 2. Notice that I've got the transparency down just to make the glass highlight here. And then the concrete material is going to be this one here, the precast concrete material. Okay. Now, when I do that, that'll update here. Right, so there we are. They've all updated. Now, what I did then was I took this panel and I put it in on just the south elevation. Say, let's take that. Now you can see how messed up that is. Why is that? Well, let's get into the first floor plan. Okay, so here's this panel. It's 7.8. Now you can see that even though I made it at 7.7, it has stretched out and it's not done too much damage, if you like, in terms of that. So this way. However, when I pick this one, you can see that it's 7.1, and that's too much for it to cope with. So what am I going to do here in order to get that one right? Well, I'm going to go back into my panel here. All right, and we're going to do a file, save as. Family, and this will be panel B, and I'll do 7100. Okay, 7100 by 7100. Save. Right. I might just change that original one to panel B by 7800. Now, so I want to get this down to 700. So what am I going to do? I might take, there's a lot of stuff locked in place here as well. So let's see, let's do a couple of reference planes here. Create a reference plane. So I'll put one in there. Okay, and I'll put one here. And let's get a dimension on those. Okay, so it's 6, 8, and then I want to get a dimension on that, 2, 9, and I want to make those equal. All right. Now, if I take this one and start to move it, I should be able to get up to 7, 1. Okay, there's 7, 1 there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, I'm going to edit the extrusion, I'm going to align to this, align that. Okay, and that means I need to delete that. A few more of these here. Okay, I think I'll delete that one as well, and I'll just do a fillet here between that. Okay, now that's that side done. And we'll do the same here. We'll just delete this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, and we'll align to this, align that one. Now, if I go back in and say you're done, that's not screaming at me, so I should be good. I can remove this dimension here now, and that dimension, 7, 1. Okay, that one up to here, and move that one up to here. These are just dimensions, they're not parametric or anything else like that. Right, so if I save that, okay, and I load that one into the project. Okay, let's get into a south elevation here. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to tab, select, right click, go select panels on the host, swap out that one for this one, and we're in business. Okay. Now, see the way that line is there? So I tell you what's happening there. That's my little void. Okay, so I need to go back in here. Make sure I'm in 7.1, yeah. Okay, and back into the reference level maybe. Okay, so I've got a couple of voids in here. See them? I want those voids to stay where they are. I think those ones look okay. I don't think they're locked into position. Maybe that's it shouldn't really have affected anything, to be honest with you, because it's the outside solid pieces that we moved here. We didn't play around with any of these at all. Some of those are locked into position. Yeah. Let me go back into the south elevation, take a look at that. Okay. I seem to have lost something up here as well. Okay. That one is okay. Let's take a little 3D view of this. Yeah, so that needs to come out there. I think that's the main thing that's missing here. Those voids are not in the correct position. Now they look like they're in the correct position, but they are not, because this is the beauty of trying to work these things out. Now, okay, so let's get into my modify align here. And geometry to that, align. All right. I'm trying to lock these in place here. Do you know what? Sometimes what it's easier to do, rather than kind of messing around like that, is to actually just delete the void and do it again. Okay. Now I'm going to delete that one and I'm going to do it again, and I might as well show you how I did this, right? So let's just save that and let's just load it into the project. We'll overwrite. Okay, now I got a little bit of a funny going on there as well. Oh yeah, one of the things that I noticed that has happened, look, is the position. If you remember, I put my grid directly on that position there, and that's why that little gap is happening here. So I'm going to this, align that, and that should move things up a little bit. To this, align that. Okay, and that's okay. And then that one is a little short there. Again, there's, oh yeah, you can see, look. So let's pull that one down onto that, remove the constraints. Now, I might just have to pop in here and just take a look at this one. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I might just take that panel out, to be honest with you. Tab, delete. Okay. Can I delete it? No. I'll put in the other one that I know is wrong. Okay. And then I shall tab. Sometimes this just works out a little bit better. You do it that way. No, I still don't. I still have lost that frame up there. I'll have to do a section through that and find out why that is, and just check the height on it as well. Right, and that one has gone a little bit off there as well. Okay. Now, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to undo. Am I going to do that? Yeah. I'm going to undo. I haven't put those panels in. All right. And, so, tab, select panels on the host. Okay. So let's see if we can get these first, these correct first. To this, that one. Okay. That should be sitting down on top of that. Remove the constraints on that one. Now, let's just check and make sure that's in the correct position. This one's not, so let's do that again. To this, align that. That one looks okay, and let's check this one. Okay, now, tab, select, right click, select panels. Panels on host, swap out for oh, darn. Now, everything should be good there. Let's load that into the project. South elevation, let's do that again now. Tab. Now, okay, and there's a few little anomalies there on that. So, let's this is frustrating now because it's absolutely spot on here. And oh, have a look at that. That seems to be, see the way that's slightly lower there. I wonder why that is. Ah, that's off. That one. I'm not quite sure why that is doing that, but to this, align that. Now you can see it moved, but it moved that window down as well there. Do this, and that frame was moved. So this is why you just need to get these kind of precise, you know. And I'm wondering if I go in and kind of lock some constraints here and see if that'll work for me. Let me try that. Now I found out why the window was slightly down, and even though I know I had the panel made correctly. See our construction lines here? Okay, do you remember I had these set right at 300. Okay, now they shifted because I aligned the grid right to the construction line. When I popped the panel in, because the panel mightn't have been the right height that it should have been, it actually shifted the grid down and it shifted the construction line down. That's what happened there. So I went back in and I made sure that all my construction lines were as we had thought from the start, that 300 above the bottom of the down stand up, and that means that all my panels are now uniform, okay, and they're all kind of working out in place there. All right, so that's that one. So remember that if you find that there's gaps in say between the glass and the frame, or the frame and the concrete panel itself, that's what happened to me. These construction lines, and consequently the grid lines shifted, and that's what was causing the problem there. So there's my south elevation kind of done. All right, that seems to be a little darker, doesn't it? So tab, let's just select that. Into the edit type properties, and is it, yeah, I think that's the one that I used. Okay, so let's tab, select that one, edit type properties. Ah yeah, it was slightly different one. It's this one here that I've been using. Okay, slightly darker grey. Now again, keep the material uniform all the way across. All right. Now you can see I'm going to have to do the same for each of the elevations here. All right. That's not spot on. So if I go into the first floor plan, okay, I'll come around the corner here, and if I select that one, it's telling me it should be the 7-1. Right. It should be the 7-1. Now I've got a 7-1 done. So. And let's just see what this one is. That's the 7-6, whereas this one here is 7-8. Now I don't know if that will work, but let's try that is the west elevation, isn't it? Okay. Now let's tab, select all panels on the host and swap out this one for the 7-1. Okay. Now there's part of the problem, is that this needs to be down on top of that. Now that's affect up my so pick this, pick that. Okay, now if I do that all the way along here, again making sure that my construction line is at the correct 300, I think I'm going to be good with this one. Alright, that looks okay. They all look spot on, right? Now I need to make a bigger panel for this one here. Back into 3D here. Okay, so that's that elevation, and then that's the south. Now if I've got a 7.1 here, I can swap that out. You get the idea, all right? And the easiest way to check that the sizes that you need is if you go into one of your plans, say the first floor plan, okay, and select a panel, because I have a panel in place, and if I select it, it's telling me that's a 7.6, that's a 7.1, so I know I've got a 7.1, that's a 7.6, and that's a 6.5. All right, so I'm going to make a 7.6 panel and a 6.5 panel and swap those out, and I should be good to go at that point.